The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media, not owned by a network, commercial-free, unscripted. We got a great show for you today coming from New York City, the media capital of the world. Let's get the American Dream started right now.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted.
Here we are, Times Square, the city never sleeps.
Yeah.
So I actually started in New York City when I was 21 years old. I had an internship right down the street at MTV when I used to actually play music.
Yeah.
I got dropped here, a guy from the Midwest, knew nobody, but got to know the city, fell in love with this city, and 9/11 happened, ended up back in the Midwest, was finishing school. Well, ended up being a college dropout, tripped and stumbled into this real estate game.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I ended up in Southern California, so it's so funny to come full circle to launching the American Dream, a national TV show now in 23 cities in New York City, and how it's all come full circle.
I love it because not only do I get to know more stories, we get to amplify them over 23 cities. Now, of course, New York City.
Well, it's the family,
Yep.
it's the home, and then it's the location and the lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
it all kind of comes together. And one of the things we're trying to do with this show is highlight these different communities all across the country. You recently brought us Ben Bacall.
Yeah.
And when we talk about things like the American Dream, there's nothing wrong with dreaming big.
Yes.
A $250 million listing.
The biggest.
Yeah.
The biggest.
So here's what we did. Took a helicopter ride,
Yep.
$250 million listing on the West Coast. Let's go check it out. Dream and I have been invited by San Diego's premier luxury realtor, a friend of our show, the Seth O'Byrne. And we're giving LA's leader in luxury real estate, Ben Bacall, a helicopter tour of what San Diego has to offer in the luxury real estate market from the sky. Buckle up.
I've been traveling the entire country, launching the American Dream all across the United States, and in each market we isolate the elite realtors in every market. Today we did something fun. We brought Ben Bacall, who is the #1 agent for luxury up in LA.
So glad to be here.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It has a $250 million listing right now, amongst many other. A great portfolio. And we got Seth O'Byrne, who you see on the show all the time, who is our expert out of San Diego. Of course, on his phone. But we're just touring America's finest city, maybe having a little in-air debate about LA and San Diego from two of the best nationwide. When you approach a luxury home and you're taking it to market, what are some of the strategies that help move that house?
I spend anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a month on those luxury listings because everyone's on their phone.
Yep.
I want those listings, viral on your phone. So that's what I implement. And of course, for the super high-end properties, we'll have a PR company come in and strategize and build stories around the property and try to get free editorials as much as we can.
Is there, obviously there's a lot of thought that goes into it, but it's not for sure what that property is going to sell for when you list it for 20, 30, 40 million, right? I mean, there's some guesswork there.
No, when you're in that 20 to 30 million dollar mark, you know that they're going to sell for pretty close to that. It's when you're pushing in that 40 to 250 stratosphere.
Yeah.
Then it's a bit different game, but. The price per square foot has been, we're really price per square foot driven in Los Angeles. We're lucky because we have the comps to back it up. So you can say like a house down the street sold for $3,000 a foot or $2,500 a foot. Museum quality stuff is selling for about $2,500 a foot.
Share with me a story, an example of something you've moved recently.
Recently we did a house for $48 million, and it's a New York buyer that came out and bought it. And then we have a lot of buyers from the UK that are venture capital, private equity. A lot of Chinese are buying, and then mostly it's domestic because the United Emirates dollar is pegged to the US dollar, and this the British thing. Everything's in flux. So right now it's really domestic, but I do advertise in like Camju and luxuryrealestate.com and Prestige MLS, and I put it in Mandarin. The listings I'll translate them, and also on YouTube I'll translate them. But essentially they're coming out here and they're hiring me, looking for their home of their dreams, and like the big listings, spending like $10,000 a month, pushing them so they're where their screens your house is going to be, right?
Yeah, so really, even though in some ways, obviously, luxury real estate has been known for being cutthroat, kind of to the opposite, you have to be collaborative with the other partners out there, right?
Yeah, you really have to, exactly. You got to be collaborative with your fellow associates, and you got to maintain that relationship. Getting exclusive listings, they're great, but often they trade hands really quickly. You get a 6-month listing, and it doesn't trade, and then you pass it off to the next guy, and then boom, it could sell, which is okay. It's just the name of the game, right?
Ben, you got any final remarks about San Diego?
Well, from the air, I really got a really terrific perspective. Thank you, Seth, for showing me all the different areas. They're beautiful. Those hillside, those cliffside properties were extraordinary. I couldn't believe what I saw. And the value that you get for beachfront property is exceptional. I'm looking to maybe buy something one day. That'd be cool.
Hope you enjoyed, and cheers to your American dream.
People come here to succeed, and if you don't succeed here, you don't stay. So owning a media company in Southern California to spread across the country, doing it city by city, and then New York City becoming our 23rd, it's the place where you're bringing the best of the best. In the media capital of the world, owning a media company, this is where you want to get to. Look at me now. I mean, it's just one of those things now where we have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
We've pulled major partners, sponsors, and got this momentum where we're here to launch.
We're coming up on Union Square. This part of the city is so great because it was never intended to be lived in. This is an industrial part of the city that's been transformed, and you've got these great old buildings. These were the earliest skyscrapers. So now people have repurposed these industrial buildings and they made lofts out of them. There's parks here, and there's excitement, there's great restaurants. I love this part of the city. So the place that I'm going to show you is in the Flatiron District, right off of Lower Fifth Avenue and right by Union Square Park. And it's such a surprise. Here we are in Union Square. I love Union Square. It's the union of everything in New York. The union of transportation, the union of cultures, the union of thought, ideas. Everything comes together right here. Here's a surprise for you. Everywhere Broadway meets a major intersection, you get a square or a circle. So you have Times Square, Herald Square, Columbus Circle, and we're at his 14th Street. You get Union Square, where we are right now. But the biggest surprise, and I love surprises, is right near here. I think you're going to be real surprised. I love a New York surprise. Right this way. When you step out of this elevator and you come into this, 6,000 square feet, one city block deep. You enter on 17th, you exit on 18th. You have huge living room, south-facing windows, soaring ceilings that go from 12 feet to 25 feet. Multiple sitting areas, wood-burning fireplace. This is a new development on top of an historic loft building. The developers of this home develop out east in the Hamptons. They know lifestyle. You've got another dining area here, and this hallway, this is a gallery with skylights 25 feet up. You've got a master bedroom there. You've got a guest bedroom there. You've got a second master because you need that. tons of closets, everything's done with skylights, beautiful ensuite baths, and check this out. This back apartment here, this back bedroom, is the 4th bedroom with an ensuite bath, but it has its own elevator. So you literally can exit to 18th Street right here. Celebrities love this because they can come in the front, exit quickly at the back. I love it. The City of New York Department of Buildings said this couldn't be done, that this huge place couldn't be created because you had to reinforce the roof, you had to raise the roof, literally raise the roof, and then you had to take down the water tower, and then you had to wait 3 years to have it happen. But the result is well worth it. So out here you've got 4,000 square feet, you've got a full kitchen, you've got a grilling station, multiple seating areas, all these skylights, they're meant to be walked on. So you can literally walk on them. I had an event up here, we had a band here, amazing. And then you've got turf, there's a sound system, there are skylights, there's a swimming pool. Now, a roof pool in New York City is a rare thing. And to have one with a spa on the end, with an outdoor shower, with a resistor current for swimmers, I'm told it's really good. That's so impressive. This entire space is clad in limestone. It's great. Love the view, and check it out. 1,000 more square feet, another outdoor living room, more skylights, view of the pool, all the architecture. I gotta tell you, I need some sunglasses up here. This, my friends, this is the American dream.
The show's called The American Dream, right? There's only one city in the country that has an Ellis Island. You know, this is a place where people have come for hundreds and hundreds of years to stake out their claim in what is the American Dream. And so having a show called The American Dream, launching in a place known to found the American Dream is a huge deal.
What I love most about San Diego is the pace. People move here because they know that life is short. You gotta live it in a place that recognizes that. You know, I would always joke I can go from business suit to wetsuit in 15 minutes on a Friday afternoon. I think I've got it beat. I've got it down to about 12 minutes now. That's what living in San Diego is about. Today I'm going to take you guys to a property that we just put on the market in Sapphire Tower. This condo is probably one of the best properties, one of the best views in all of San Diego. On the way, we're going to pick something up special for the sellers. We're going to go to Donut Bar. Actually, it's here right now. Let's get some donuts. Could I get some creme brulee and then a Boston cream and a chocolate euphoria? I was gonna have a beer, but I think it's too early.
It's not too early, sir. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Thanks. When you're in downtown San Diego, you might walk right by it and think it's nothing, but the Donut Bar has been on USA Today, it's been on the Thrillist, it's been on TripAdvisor. This is probably one of the hottest donut bars in America, and we got it in our backyard. This penthouse listing is actually really personal to me because not only do we have a listing on one of the most expensive penthouses downtown San Diego, I was working on this project when I was 19 years old as an intern for the builder. So to come around 16 years later and have a listing of this caliber is something that really means a lot to us. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 3,000 square feet, but you're not just buying it because of the stats, you're buying it because of the materials, you're buying it because of the Sub-Zero commercial wine fridge, the Miele, the Wolf, all these materials are absolute top of the line, and for an affluent penthouse buyer, they're the units, materials that you would really want. The reason I would buy this property is this room right here. One of my favorite rooms in the penthouse is the master bedroom. It's got floor-to-ceiling, wall-to-wall windows. It overlooks over $2 trillion in downtown penthouse living. You can see out of this window to Mexico, you can see Coronado Islands in the San Diego Bay. I like to joke that this is a 50 Shades of Grey style penthouse. And I like to think that Christian Grey himself would love this one feature that he has right here. And this is a hidden staircase. case you have guests that need to leave in a hurry. You know, the reality is for $3 million you could buy a lot of house, right? But you can't replicate this view. You know, that beach across the street, that's a white sand beach I surfed out this morning. For a local San Diegan, you know you're looking at basically the best of our city all in one shot. So as great as the inside of this property is, you realize that it takes all of it to make it one of the best properties in San Diego.
All right, and cut. Good job, guys.
We're done?
We're done.
You want a donut?
Yes.
Everybody has decided, they've made that conscious decision that they choose positivity, that they still believe America is a staircase, and that there's a possibility for everybody to go up. People rejecting negativity and choosing positivity. People deciding that they want to do more with their businesses, more with their time, more with their families, and take part in this incredible economic opportunity we have to be in this country. And so what's so cool is everyone's story is completely different, and this company is thriving as a business, at the same time creating a tremendous amount of social good.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my home. Come on in, let me show you around. So this is it, man. Welcome to Williamsburg. You're standing in a penthouse at the Williamsburg edge. This is my little dude right here, getting the day started. Say hi. Say hi. We're getting ready to start the day here. Just finished up some breakfast, some coffee. The girls are hanging out. Hey, babe. How's it going? I'm gonna leave this guy with you. So coming outside, let me show you guys how it is outside. So here we've got the terrace, and this is what it's all about. You got Manhattan across the water, you got the beautiful water. Welcome to New York City, guys. What's up, Craig?
What up, man?
What's up, man? How's it going? Ready for a big day?
This is the American dream right
This is it. This is it. Ready for a big day? Let's get it. So this is Williamsburg. You know what makes it really fantastic is that it's very close to Manhattan. You've got the ferry, you could take the train. You know, originally 10, 15 years ago, nobody really knew about this place. It was just warehouses and not exactly the best neighborhood. You know, then all of a sudden you had artists and actors and lots of things like that going on. Now it's really evolved. You've got new professionals and families, and you just got just a variety of everyone, sort of. So it's amazing here on the waterfront. You've got views of the city. It's very easy to get there, and the neighborhood's completely evolved. You've got Apple, you've got Whole Foods, you've got a ton of restaurants. I mean, you can literally go out every single weekend for the next year, and you'd still never try everything. And so it's become a quintessential part of New York City. So basically this is it. We're on the boardwalk of the Williamsburg waterfront. And if you look right behind me, you can actually see all of these buildings. And if you were here 10 years ago, none of this was actually here. It was literally just desert. And so basically two developers got together, decided to rezone the Williamsburg waterfront. They saw something the others didn't. And so you've got the edge over there on your left, and you've got Northside Piers right here. Then you've got two rental buildings in front, and this whole thing together just comprises the Williamsburg waterfront. Beautiful luxury buildings with tax abatements, rental buildings, a little bit of something for everybody. And ultimately, it's great for residents to live in. There's also some really great investment opportunities here. So this is it. Welcome to the Williamsburg waterfront. So we're currently in Fabrica. It's a great Italian restaurant and coffee bar. I actually take a lot of my meetings here. And part of the American dream is remembering to enjoy the present. Most people are so focused about the future or dissecting the past, they forget to be present in the moment. So remember, part of the American dream is appreciate the now. Good company, good friends, and what's going on around you today. What's up, guys? What's going on, guys? How's everything? Great, man. Cheers, man. Cheers. Come on in, guys. So welcome. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in the Williamsburg Edge, one of Brooklyn's most premier condominium buildings. And a place like this really is the American dream. You've got about 1,200 square feet of space. You've got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Every single room in this place faces the water and Manhattan, and it's just an amazing place. Come on over, let me show you the bedroom. So I want you to imagine that you go to bed at night, you wake up in the morning, and the first thing you see is water at Manhattan. I mean, it's hard to wake up in a bad mood. Then it's a very functional home. So if you come this way, you've got a walk-in closet. There's no need to fight over storage space. You know, if you follow me into this master suite, you've got double vanity. If we walk over this way, and this is essentially the second bedroom. Currently set up as a kid's room. It can be a second bedroom. It can be a home office. It's got nice built-outs. It's got storage space. And once again, you're facing directly west. So from everywhere in the apartment, you know, you're looking at water, you're looking at city. That's pretty cool. And then let me come and show you the terrace. So essentially, you can do anything you want up here. You can put a mini grill, put some chairs out here, read a scotch and a cigar, you know, whatever it is. And once again, look at this. This is incredible. I mean, this place really is the American dream. You never need to leave. So thanks for spending some time with me in the unit. I'm glad I got to show you this wonderful 2-bedroom apartment.
All right, for today's Power Player interview, there's nobody that better illustrates the American dream than this guy, Grant Cardone, coming to us out of Miami. Good to see you, Grant. How are you, man?
Always good to see you, my friend. You bring me so much energy in my life. You remind me that a dream has to keep going and growing.
Yeah, well, we're growing to Miami soon, so what makes this show unique is we go city to city, and each city has its own little ecosystem, so we're coming to your town here soon enough, so we're going to be out in the field doing some stuff with you. Excited to launch there.
I can't wait to see you.
So let's talk about that thing called the American Dream. You've had quite the journey yourself. Right to your left there, you can see your new book, Investing in Real Estate. Tell us real quick about your journey for those who are tuning in for the first time.
Yeah, look, I mean, I grew up like probably 99% of the people watching this is like lower middle class family. My dad worked hard. My mom took care of the family, 5 kids. And my dad died at a very young age for me. He was 52, I was 10 years old. And that left a big vacuum in the family. But my dad left me with a lot of things, you know, like the individual can die, but the things he leaves behind stays with the people around him. And he taught me work ethic. He taught me that I could have anything I wanted. He loved real estate. He was actually a stockbroker, but on the weekends he would shop real estate, which was fascinating to me because I'm like, why aren't you shopping? I mean, if you love stocks and that's what you do, why aren't you shopping stocks? But he shopped real estate because I think that that's organically something everybody understands is a good thing. And so for the past 30 years, starting in San Diego, by the way, I started buying real estate. And it's, of my 7 businesses, that's the one that will take care of me and my great-great-great-grandchildren. My great-great-great-grandchildren that have not been born yet, Craig, will probably be wealthy.
Yeah, well, the stockbrokers out there, we got to remind them that there's no stock that you can live in, and there's no stock that you can use other people's money to buy it with like you can with real estate. So it's a great opportunity. What do you think about the real estate market now? I mean, we're spread across the country. In every city, we align the power players of real estate. We've trademarked that term, the best in every city. What do you think about the real estate market right now?
Well, let me just say this. Bank of America, okay, or Wells Fargo, right? They will lend you money to buy real estate, and they won't lend you money to buy their own stock.
Right.
So that should say it all right there. Go to Bank of America and say, I'd like to buy $1 million worth of Bank of America stock, and I want you to lend me money. And they'll be like, sir, please get up out of the chair, okay?
Yeah.
But we'll lend you money on real estate. So look, if you're trying to make money in real estate over the next 3 weeks or 3 months, or, you know, I think you're looking at it wrong. But the way we invest in it is for long periods of time. We buy multifamily income producing properties. I mean, what we do over here is we don't do single family homes because we want income. I want passive flows of income that Warren Buffett talked about. If you don't earn passive flows of income, you'll die trying to earn one income. So we're buying rental properties in markets like Orlando, Tampa, Miami, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, anything in the southwest or southeast. San Diego, I think, is a great market. I just can't come there because you guys got too many other issues.
Real quick, Grant, so tell me about the book that you wrote, How to Create Wealth Investing in Real Estate.
Yeah, this is my 8th book, Craig. By the way, this is a self-published book, okay? I have published books, but this is a self-published book with the biggest release by almost 8 times of any book that I've ever brought to market. So we shipped, I think, 38,000 copies in 21 days.
Wow.
And it's not in a bookstore. Those are massive numbers for a book this doesn't have a release. So it's about how people can get involved in the apartment game.
Well, you've done a lot with the entrepreneurial spirit. You're doing events. You do a lot on social media. If anyone visits you online, you have a lot of products you develop. But I know that your wheelhouse is this real estate game, which is a big message of the show. I hope that our audience will reach out to you, get your book, and definitely follow you on Instagram. You are one of my favorite guys to follow just because the energy you bring, you got your own show on there.
Anything could happen on Instagram, that's for sure.
Yeah, your wife throws you head kicks, or actually it was rib kicks, was it?
Yeah. She wants me to get in shape, so she thinks beating me up is the way to do that.
Love it, man. Well, we appreciate your story. Thanks for coming on The American Dream. I hope our audience reaches out for that book, and we'll talk to you again soon, Grant. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Craig.
All right. More of the show coming up next.
I hope you enjoyed today's show. The American Dream now spans coast to coast, all across the country and everywhere in between. The whole idea, to empower the mindset of the American Dream. Did it from New York City today. This is actually the place I started in media. Working for MTV, living in Chinatown. I'll never forget my first day in Union Square, which is where this $18 million pad is. Met my roommate, and he said, hey man, let me show you around New York City. Show you what this town has to offer. So we walked up here to Union Square, and I'll never forget, he sat down and he said, sewing, grab yourself a piece of real estate. This is a great place to take a nap. Put his arms behind his head, laid back down. So my first day, almost 20 years ago in New York City, I took a nap in the street. So to be back here, launching the show, spreading positive information, and empowering the mindset of the American Dream, quite the honor. Thanks so much for watching the show. Hope you enjoyed it from New York City and all the areas we covered. That's all for today. Hope you can follow us on social media. I'm gonna go take a nap.
There's a joint on the corner where the big boys play, where the whiskey's running like the river, but they all never come for the booze and bass. I'm the one, I'm the lady that'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. Rock this place.
The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media. We got a great show for you today coming from New York City. Let's get the American Dream started right now.
Joint on the corner where the big boys play.